Have you ever felt like you're just stuck on a hamster wheel, working, spending, but never really getting ahead? Well, today we're going to dive into a philosophy that promises to change all that. This is our explainer on the core, life changing ideas from the classic book, Your Money or Your Life. And this quote right here from the author, Vicki Robin, this is the heart of the whole idea. It's not about making a grim choice between having wealth and actually living. Nope. It's about creating a life where your money and your values are completely intertwined, where finance isn't some separate, stressful chore. So, how do we get there? The book lays out a really clear roadmap. First, we're going to rethink our entire relationship with money. Then, we'll learn how to track what it's truly costing us. After that, we'll align our spending with what actually matters, and finally, work towards that ultimate goal, financial independence. Okay, let's start with part one, rethinking your financial life. This is all about digging into why the usual advice, just get a raise or you have to stick to a budget, why that stuff so often fails to solve the real problem. And what's so cool about this is the contrast you see here. See, traditional advice just treats the symptoms. The Your Money or Your Life approach, on the other hand, goes straight for the root cause. It argues that earning more money won't fix anything if your basic relationship with it is broken. The goal here is a total transformation, one that connects your bank account to your actual life. So, the very first step on this journey, it's actually kind of emotional. It's all about letting go. Seriously, forget the bad investments, forget the money you feel like you wasted. The authors say you have to adopt this no shame, no blame attitude. Just accept what happened and move on with a totally clean slate. All right, now we get to what might be the most powerful game-changing concept in the entire book, tracking your life energy. This is not just about dollars and cents, oh no. It's about what you are truly fundamentally giving up to earn them. So what is life energy? Well, think of it this way. It's every single hour of your life that you exchange for cash. We only have a finite amount of time on this planet, right? So when we work, we are literally trading away pieces of our life. That is the real currency we're spending every day. And this table just illustrates that point perfectly. It shows why your real hourly wage is probably way lower than you think. You might get paid for 40 hours a week, right? But what about the commute? What about the time you spend checking emails on a Sunday? Or the hours it takes just to decompress after a stressful day? Suddenly, that 40-hour work week is costing you 57 hours of your life energy. And here's the crucial point. This is not about putting yourself on a restrictive budget. The authors say budgets are like crash diets. They almost never work in the long run. Instead, this is about creating awareness. For 1 month, you track every single cent that comes in and goes out. No judgment, no guilt, just pure objective data on where your life energy is actually flowing. Okay, so you've tracked everything. You have that awareness. Now what? Now we move into the third stage, spending with purpose. This is where you take all that data and turn it into conscious, powerful choices that align your money with what actually makes you happy. And that brings us to the first of 3 really powerful questions you have to ask yourself about every single purchase. Looking at your spending, you ask, was the fulfillment I got from this worth the life energy I spent? That daily coffee, that streaming service, was the joy you got from it truly worth the hours of your life you had to trade to pay for it? The second question, this one goes even deeper. It connects your wallet directly to your soul. You have to ask yourself, is this spending in line with my values and my purpose? If you say you value things like community or family time or creativity, does your bank statement actually prove it? And finally, the third question. This is the ultimate test. Would I still be buying this if I didn't have to work? This is the question that separates what you genuinely desire from all the spending that's just driven by habit or obligation or trying to keep up with the neighbors. So once you start answering those questions honestly, it leads you right here to valuing your life energy. You start to consciously cut out spending that doesn't bring you joy. You figure out what you truly need versus what you just want. And you become a master of buying things for their real value and durability, not just because they're new and shiny. Now, to keep yourself motivated on this journey, the book suggests making your progress super visible, like get a big chart, put it on your wall, and every month plot your income and your expenses. This turns what could be a boring task into this really visual, satisfying ritual where you can literally see yourself getting closer to your goal. And all of this, every single step, it all leads us to the final section of our roadmap, achieving financial independence. This is the destination. This is the point where all your hard work and all those conscious choices really, truly pay off. Now, while a huge part of this is about conscious spending, the book definitely doesn't ignore the other side of the equation. I mean, since you are trading your precious life energy for money, you'd better make sure you're getting paid fairly for it. So, what is the end goal really? Let's be clear on this definition. Financial independence isn't about being fabulously wealthy. It's about reaching the point where your investments generate enough income to cover your living expenses. It means you no longer have to trade your time for money. You have a choice. You are free. And this chart, this right here, is the goal. It's called the crossover point. It is that beautiful, magical moment when the line representing your income from your investments crosses above the line showing your monthly expenses. That is the moment you've made it. And to get to that crossover point, and more importantly, to stay there, the final step is all about managing your investments. The philosophy here isn't about risky, high-growth stocks. It's about preserving the life energy you've worked so hard to save. So you focus on stable, income-producing assets, things like bonds or dividend funds, that will protect your capital and give you that steady stream of cash you need to live on. And so we come full circle. By following this path, by understanding your life energy, aligning your spending with what you value, and building that passive income, you're no longer forced to make that terrible choice. You really can have both your money and your life. Which leaves us with one last really powerful question to think about. If you hit that crossover point tomorrow and you never had to work for money again, what would you choose to do with your most precious, non-renewable resource, your life energy?